Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 741. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to my studio. If you are joining me live, please say hello. If you end up watching the recorded version, please also feel welcome to say hello. I do get notified from all of the comments throughout the day as well. We are in my studio this morning. I had some fun things to go over with you. I wanted to talk more about the projects in Be So Caring, my brand new 19th book, and it's the first book I've ever published that 100% of the proceeds are donated to charity. So I will be talking about the projects in there today, and we'll dress up my dollies with the different baby outfits. And let's say good morning to everybody. Hello, Sherry and Kat, Thea, Pamela, Angela, Judy, Christine, Lily, Constance. Oh, I think I'm caught up. Good morning, Grace and Thea. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Carmen, Anna, good morning. And I will talk about my outfit a little bit today. The tricks that I showed you for this shawl yesterday, I applied to this shawl today to create the kind of look of a fitted garment again with a rectangular wrap. So I'll show you that again, but I'll show you with another piece. Let's see, who did I miss now? Hi, Lisa and Anna, Donna, Linda, Lisa, Diane, Rita. I hope I caught everybody. I might have missed a few people when I turned my back. Sorry about that. My intentions are to say hello to everybody that joins at the beginning of the podcast or vlog or whatever you want to call it, our morning hangout. So I'm wearing the Apollonia wrap today, and this is a project in Be So Baby yarn. You can download the pattern on my website. That reminds me, we need to talk about the website today too. Good morning, Judy, and thank you for posting links. Judy's posting a link to the pattern for the Apollonia wrap. There is a video series for this project as well. It is embedded on the pattern page. It is also available as a standalone playlist of videos here on YouTube, so you could search Apollonia and find it that way as well. Or you could find it on the pattern page. What else? It uses Be So Baby yarn, and it uses a bunch of colors, but you don't have to do it in my colors. You could pick your own colors. The pattern tells you how much yarn you would need for each of the specific colors, or to do it in one color. And because it's a textured project with lots of post stitches, this would be absolutely gorgeous all in one color too. Like even if you went with like a neutral color like this is stone, and if you did a neutral color like that, you would just see the texture of the mandalas and not the color. It would, honestly, I don't know which one would be prettier. They'd both be beautiful in their own ways. So if you don't like the color work, please consider the pattern still just for the texture, because it would be amazing in one color. And quite frankly, easier to make. This is a challenging project. I know we do a lot of simple projects, but it's fun to pepper in challenging projects at times. This is a challenging project because it combines tapestry crochet with working in the round. Tapestry crochet meaning a type of color work where you're changing colors throughout the round. So it's combining color work with tapestry crochet, post relief stitch textures, working in the round, and join as you go motifs. So but it's fun, and anybody that I've talked to that's made it has enjoyed the challenge. Sometimes it's good to have a challenging project. When, if it gets too challenging, that's when it's great to have extra projects on hand, like the simpler things, but it's always good for your mind to have challenges too. That's one of the reasons that I play piano and try to learn new songs all the time, because it's a challenge, and I really think that it's good for your brain to keep it moving. Anyway, so thank you, Kimberly. Kimberly likes my videos. Wonderful. I've probably missed some names now. From where did I draw the name Apollonia? Sherry wants to know. From Prince. Well, one of the, I think she was one of the characters in, or was she the actress that played one of the characters in the movie Purple Rain? But I believe she was part of his band as well. Sheila E. was the drummer, but maybe Apollonia did some singing, or maybe she was a dancer. I can't remember. If anybody is a Prince fan and can help me out, I'd appreciate it. But I do know that it was inspired by somebody in the Prince entourage or world. I always loved her name. I know it's from Greek mythology as well, and I believe it's a Greek name, but my inspiration came from my love of Prince. So let me stand up and show you what I did with this wrap. So, and if you watched the episode yesterday, you are already familiar with what I did. So we took a rectangular wrap and belted it in a way to create more of a garment look. So first I'll take it off so you can see how incredibly gorgeous this color work is. Look at that. So this is the Apollonia wrap. It is how many motifs wide? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 6 motifs wide by 2 motifs tall, and the pattern also gives you information on how to make it bigger if you wanted to make this any kind of a blanket. There is yardage requirements and also schematics to make this much larger if you wanted to make it a blanket. And I gotta say, that would be absolutely stunning to make this into a blanket, wouldn't it? So anyway, it is a very generous sized wrap, and like we talked about yesterday, a generous sized wrap can be worn in so many different ways, starting with the simplest version, which is just hang it over your elbows, and you've got this gorgeous wrap that just hangs by its own weight, and you really don't have to do much at all. It will just sit there. You could definitely pin it with a shawl pin or a butterfly clip. You could put a button on it. You could do anything you wanted to close this up if you wanted this more secure in the front, but as you can see, it does sit really well on its own. You could also wrap it. It's long enough to wrap like this. And if it doesn't want to stay on your shoulder like that, this is a great time to add a clip or a pin or a shawl pin as well. But I do love that look as well. You can do this as a scarf still too. Talk about warm. Oh my goodness. And you could even pin this up if you wanted to make it more of a cowl. That would be super cute too. You know, it's a rectangle. You could drape this in a bunch of different ways. But now what I want to show you is what I did yesterday, which is taking a stretchy belt and draping it in such a way that we get more of a vest / cardigan look. So I've got it draped over my shoulders like I did in the first demonstration this morning. And now I'm going to wrap the belt around the whole thing like that. Now I want to slide this around so that there's no bunches. You want to slide it so it's smooth underneath the belt on both sides. This is easier in front of a mirror, obviously. I don't know how well this is going to go. And then you want to make sure it's even in the front, because it's not going to go all the way to the back most likely. Because then you want to start pulling your arms up to give you some ease for arm movement. And you just kind of want to keep playing with it. I want to make sure that the motifs line up. I want to make sure both sides are the same length, right? But how cute, doesn't this look like a vest now? Especially if I had sleeves. I mean, I'm wearing a tank top, but still, you would just keep zhuzhing it, right? Just keep moving it around. And once you get it in place, the belt will hold it in place. I did it this morning and it stayed in place as I was getting ready for the podcast. But I have to tell you, I think that looks like a fitted vest. Like, okay. Again, if you were doing this in front of a mirror, it would be a lot easier. You could even overlap the fronts. You could overlap them a little bit if you wanted. And again, if you did this all in one color, can you imagine what that texture would look like too? It would be so cute, but I love it in all the colors as well. I'm just saying I would like to, that's all. Yes, universe, I would like the extra time to make a second version of this. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Hi, Carla. Good morning, everybody. Lisa wants 2 also. Yeah, I definitely, at least 2, because we could actually go with a different color theme for the first one. Oh, that reminds me, one of the other things that was inspiration for this was a photo from Greece, actually. So I think it was between the color inspiration being a photo from Greece and then thinking about Grecian names and then hearing Apollonia and thinking, oh, I loved her in the Prince movies, and I think she was in the band too, but I can't remember. But the name Apollonia and Sheila E. always remind me of Prince. And so that's, so for whoever was asking about, she was the leading lady in Purple Rain. Thank you, Beth. I thought so, but I couldn't remember. Okay, so yes, so it was a combination of Greek, a beautiful Greek photo of the sea and flowers and stuff, and that's where I picked up all these colors. Believe this, and then I used stone at the end because I thought that these reminded me of like tile work and tiles, and what better way to join tiles than to join them with like a nature grout color. Yes, it is done in motifs. These are large motifs with the mandala design, and then there are mini motifs that join them together in color work, and then there are additional mini motifs that worked along the side to give us straighter edges. And that color is then what I use to combine them all together. You can watch videos on this, and it is a pattern you can download. Thank you, Rita. So let's see, what colors are in here? We have turquoise, stone, orchid, splash, silver lavender, and indigo, I believe. We might have aquamarine too. I think it was aquamarine and turquoise. I could be wrong. It's listed on the pattern though. And it tells you how much yarn for each of the colors. This is a standalone pattern. It's not in the book. I will be talking about the book today, but I wanted to talk about what I was wearing first. Thanks, Lily. She was in the girl group called Vanity. All right. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm forgetting all the details. I've always liked her, and I always liked her name. Okay, so if there's no more questions about that, we'll move on then, because I did want to talk about this book. There were a lot of questions about the book yesterday when I was demonstrating the wrap, because I wore that yesterday. Can we move this? Oh, my baby dolls are in the way. Let's move them and get this a little closer so you can see it. Yeah, lots of ways you can wear a rectangular wrap, especially if the yarn has great drape. Okay, so Be So Caring is my newest book. It's book 19, and this is the first book I've ever published that is 100% of the proceeds are donated to charity. So from the sales of the book, I take the proceeds and use them to distribute the Be So Helpful bags, which you can also purchase. You can purchase them yourself to give to other people, or you can purchase them and put in, it'll explain that on the shopping page. If you want to purchase extra Be So Helpful bags to help me send more to shelters, you can do that as well. Let me grab one of those so you can see it. So this is what I distribute to shelters around the country, but honestly, it's unisex and it's good for anybody. So even though I distribute them to women's shelters, you could distribute them to anyone you see fit. And the one thing that I forgot to mention in here yesterday, I pulled the bag out. That's why. I pulled the bag out to show it one day, and it didn't go back in. So it comes with a bag that's foldable. It's so cute. Let me grab one. So someone can put all of these goodies in this bag. This is how I ship it. I ship them in the plastic bag. But it comes with one of these foldable bags. So when you unfold it, it's a big shopping tote. And what's great is that you could give it to somebody, putting all the goodies in the bag, and the bag is large enough that you could add something handmade to it. So that was always the idea that I had, is that if you were giving this individually, you would take the bag, fill it with all of the goodies, and then make something. So whether you made a prayer shawl or some hats or some baby items, you could actually, there's plenty of room in this size bag to put handmade items in there as well, or items that you see fit for donating to somebody. So in my bag, I have a little bottle of Be So Clean soap, which is all-purpose, all-natural, non-toxic soap that we use for washing and blocking our handmade items, right? But you can also use it to wash your hands or wash your hair or wash your body or wash anything in your house. It's non-toxic and just really clean soap. Be so clean, right? So what my goal in here is that if somebody was in a challenging situation and really in between places that with the items in this bag, you could get freshened up even in a public bathroom. So it's unisex. It's good for anybody, not just women in shelters, but anybody that needs a little help. So you've got the bottle of soap, a lightweight and soft bamboo washcloth and hand towel that are really soft but quick drying also. And so these are wonderful to wash yourself with the soap if you needed to. I actually use them for washing my face as well. A water bottle, because if you're on the go and in a challenging situation, you can't be buying water bottles all day at 7-Eleven at $2 or $3 a piece. So there's a water bottle, there's a tube of chapstick. I think we could all use chapstick, and it's a neutral unisex flavor, just plain vanilla. Then I have in here a nail file. Anybody can use a nail file. And then a pen and a Create, Share, Inspire journal, because anybody can use a journal to write their thoughts down. Write your thoughts down, write your feelings down, anything to help get yourself more focused on picking yourself up and dusting yourself off, right? So I feel like I came up with a bunch of great items in here, and I know there are other people that have had great suggestions, and that's why I made the bag big, so that if you want to purchase them and donate them yourself, you can add other items that you see fit to put in there. So anyway, that's what my charity, Project Kristin Cares, does to give back. And so the sale of this book, I thought it was going to be fun to use the proceeds of this book to help distribute these. And in addition, all of the items in here, all of the items in the book are items that make great gifts or donation items. So whether you want to make this as a prayer shawl, or you want to make some of the baby items to give as gifts or to give as donation items, they're all appropriate for many. And I designed the patterns with lots of sizes so that you could donate them for any number of people. So like, for example, this one, let me look up the name. I don't remember the name of this one. Well, we could go through the whole thing anyway. So the first set of patterns in here is the Dora blanket and hat. The hat is designed for a preemie size. So if you wanted to make something for a preemie baby, you could make the blanket and the hat. And I'll show that in a second. Then the one I'm holding here, I think this one's called Charlie, but we'll make it there. So then there's Stevie, which is a sweater and pants, and that's sized from newborn through 10 years old. Then, so lots and lots of sizes. So you could make this for kids of any age. You could do this for an older sibling with a new baby coming. This one is Charlie, that's the hoodie. And I know there's been lots of requests to make this in adult sizes, and that is a great idea. We will do that eventually, but for now it's sized from newborn through 8 to 10 years old. So again, this would be super cute to make for a new baby with an older sibling. It has the hood, and it's a super simple construction in double crochet. Great for a beginner type project too. Then there's the Riley cowl, super cozy and chunky. I'll show you that one in a second too. You could do this in one color, but it's really a cool technique of making vertical stripes and doing color work, but only using one color per round. So it looks much fancier and more tricky than it is. It's actually quite simple to do. Then this is the, oops, I skipped a page. Then we have the Mary Jane shawl, the one sitting next to me, and then the last one is the Taylor hat. Now I'm going to show you all of those in real life here. I missed that comment. So this is the Charlie hoodie. Oh, and all the projects in this book are made in Be So Baby yarn. Okay, I pulled out the bin. Didn't I? No, I didn't. I said I was going to pull it out, but I didn't. Here it is. Okay, so let's see. Let's start at the beginning. Here's the Dora set. All of the patterns have charts and written instructions. Eventually I'll do some video tutorials as well. And some of these we might end up making classes as well when we start doing classes. So this is the preemie hat. I don't have a preemie sized baby, so I can't try it on anybody for you. But that is the preemie hat. And here is the gorgeous blanket that would be good for a preemie or a newborn or any baby. Isn't that adorable? So we've got motifs for the edging, a motif in the center, and a super simple stitch pattern for growing the rectangle from the center out. So because it grows from the center out, you could actually modify this to make it much bigger as well. I think there would be some easy modifications to turn that into a rectangular shawl as well. If you did, instead of doing one motif in the center, if you did several motifs along a line and then started the square as a rectangle around all of them, I think you could make that into a gorgeous rectangular wrap. And if you did it in something like Be So Fine or Be So Fine bling yarn, that would make a stunning wedding shawl too, wouldn't it? Oh, this is Be So Baby yarn in color birthday cake. Yes, it does look like Candy Lily. I agree. The colors are so cheerful and sweet. I love it. I love it too. Okay, then we've got the Stevie set. Here's the Stevie set. We've got these adorable pants, and they're sized again from newborn through 8 to 10 years old. Anybody would enjoy a pair of cozy pants like this, right? Has a drawstring and a little bit of a cuff on the bottom, and then it has a matching kimono. I suppose I could try it on my baby doll here, but the baby doll has on the Charlie hoodie for right now. We could try the pants on, I suppose. Anyway, these pants are done in periwinkle. The jacket is done in Seaside Siesta mixed with periwinkle. You could do this in one color as well. It doesn't have to be in two colors. I just wanted to show that variation. And then this Charlie hoodie is done in Be So Baby yarn in color turquoise. All of these are simple projects too. Then we have the Riley cowl, and I did this one with tripling Be So Baby yarn with a super large hook. The reason being is I wanted to have something, because the shawl, a prayer shawl or a large shawl, you know, it takes some time to make. But if you wanted to make some quick donations or some quick projects for gifts, this is tripled Be So Baby yarn with, I think, a 10mm hook. Let me look it up real quick because it's so fast. Let's see, what size did I use? Yes, I used the 10mm crochet hook. So this whips up so fast, and it is so soft and squishy. I mean, look at the drape. Even though it's tripled, and so it's super chunky weight, and it's on a size 10mm hook, it's not stiff. Look at that. Here, I'll try it on. I'll mess my hair up, but oh well. Look at that drape. It's not very, I mean, okay, you get lots of drape in thinner yarns, right? But very rarely do you see this kind of a drape in something this chunky. It's exceptional, I have to say. I think that's exceptional. I've been in the yarn business for a very, very, very long time. And how long have it? 16 years now. And I have rarely seen a chunky yarn that feels that luxuriously soft and has that much drape. Normally, yarn that thick is pretty stiff, so this is a treat, and I think everybody could use a hug around the neck like the Riley cowl. It's done in two colors. This is eggplant and violet. You could do it in any combination of colors. There's 60 colors of Be So Baby yarn, so it'd be really fun to come up with all sorts of combinations for that. And then the last one is, oh, you know, I said the Mary Jane shawl, right? And this is in color orchid. Then the last one is the tailor hat, and I designed this one specifically with men in mind, but it is sized for everyone in the family. Let me double check and see what sizes we have in here, because I'm pretty sure we put a bunch of sizes in here. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 sizes from newborn to a large man size. So, but I did design it with men in mind because I wanted to make it sophisticated, have some texture to it, and have some, you know, have some meat to it so it's fun to make, you know, but also be sophisticated in the styling so that it's not too fussy, because I know this doesn't apply to all men, but I know a lot of men that are pretty picky about what kind of knit and crochet things they like. Just being honest here. It's starting with Marlon. And he wouldn't want something that has too much texture. He wants something that's pretty simple and looks machine made, right? So between doing solid post stitches for this beautiful increasing crown, can you see how it almost looks like a star, right? But they're not going to pay attention. I mean, once you put it on, you don't see that it's a star. You just see that it's a simple texture, right? And then following in that post stitch theme, I did an offset post stitch pattern for the sides. Yeah, I think men can be a little picky about colors too. So it's funny, anytime Marlon's friends come over to pick him up or whatever, I always ask them to pick their favorite colors of Be So Baby yarn. I ask them to go take a look and tell me what they think, because I'm always curious to see how far I can push color work with in men's patterns. Anyway, that's the story behind the tailor hat, and I really think it came out beautiful. This is made for, I did make the largest size, so that's for a large man. Doesn't mean every man, it means a large man. So it's like 23 or 24-inch circumference, but people come in all sizes, right? So keep in mind, you like Marlon's not a large man. He would wear something a little bit smaller than this. I'm not a large man, so I wouldn't wear something this large either. But I wanted to make the largest size, hoping to find a large model to wear it at some point. But in the meantime, I figured out the yardage from the largest one and worked my way down. But the other thing about making larger hats is that you can have a slouchy hat then too. So I can still wear this, and it's more of a slouchy look on me, which I actually love. I love wearing big hats as a slouchy hat. Couple of reasons. Number one, it doesn't mess up your hair nearly as much as a tight hat. I just think that they're comfortable, and my ponytail looks silly up there, but you can see that it has that cool, relaxed vibe being a slouchy hat. My hairdo is not appropriate for this right now, but I would absolutely wear this as a slouchy hat. And Marlon would probably, it would probably be slouchy on him as well. But that's okay. That's a look with guys too. So even if you wanted it slouchy and not fitted, I think this looks great. And you can see, you can't really see that starburst that I told you about at the top, right? You can't really see it. But as the crafter who made it, you can enjoy making that starburst and combining it with this stitch pattern, even though as a finished hat, it really looks more store-bought machine made than handmade, which we have those recipients that we give gifts to that really want us to make things that look more store-bought and not handmade. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't mean that as a bad thing. Yeah, personally, I prefer messy bun hats for myself, Judy. I agree. And that's because I wear my hair up a lot. Like, I try to wear it down sometimes for the podcast, but I feel like once I get to shipping and working, my hair goes up. I don't remember who Allie McGraw is, Judy. I can't, but is that what you mean with the hat? Did she wear hats like that? I feel like I did not see Love Story. I don't know that movie. I'm pretty sure my mom has talked about that movie. Is that a movie where you cry though? Because I really avoid tearjerker movies. It's just slightly older than me. Oh, with Ryan O'Neal. Okay, but is that a crying movie? Because I don't watch crying movies. Although I do want to see her slouchy hat now. Okay, big time crying movie. Yeah, I don't watch those. Last tearjerker movie I watched intentionally was Steel Magnolias, I think. It might have been the last one, and I really avoid them as much as possible. Because honestly, I can cry in a Transformer movie. Like, I can cry in like a touching scene, even in an action film, and Marlon thinks I'm absolutely ridiculous for it. But it's the way it goes. I mean, I could cry in just about any movie. No, Hallmark Channel is not for me. No, no. I do not watch the Hallmark Channel. Occasionally I'll watch it and I'll go, what was I thinking? Yeah, if anybody can screenshot or grab a photo of Allie McGraw wearing the slouchy hat, I'd love to see it. Let's see. All right, where did I talk about everything in the book now? I did. So the book is also available as it's available as a paperback. Obviously, you can see that here. You can buy it directly from me as personalized and autographed like I do all of my other books. You can also buy it on Amazon Prime in all Amazon Prime markets. So I have links to all of that on the book page. You can buy it in any country where Amazon is, and you can get it shipped to you directly. It won't be autographed by me, but then you're not paying international shipping either. And then if you prefer digital, you can order the book as a PDF download for a little less money. That's available on my website as well. And that brings me to talking about the website. Just have a few things to mention about the website. So as you may be aware or may not, I am working on making a new website right now, getting more than just a little facelift. We're actually going to a completely different platform and doing a completely different website. Will there still be a shop? Absolutely. Will there still be my blog? Absolutely. Will there still be information on my, you'll still be able to find all of the things that I have on my website now, but it's going to be redesigned completely and on a different platform. So when you do a website, and you've probably gotten emails from lots of other companies over the years who have explained this, when you go to a completely different platform, you lose all of the history, right? So if you are somebody that has an account on my website where you log in, you won't have that history anymore. So we're probably a month out from switching over to the new website, but it wouldn't be a bad time if you wanted a copy of all of your order history, to print that out or save that somehow for yourself. Also, any of the patterns that you have downloaded, if you have not saved them to your devices, you should save them to your devices, because once the website changes over, we won't be able to give you new download links. I know a lot of people forget to save their patterns, and then they email Judy or me asking us to resend them, and we do, no problem, but you have a month to do that before we move over to the new site, because there will not be any record of your order, so there will not be any way to resend the download link. All your patterns are still yours. Everything you've purchased is still yours. You need to save it before the switch. Otherwise, we won't be able to keep resending it to you. Some people ask for us to resend it quite often, and you'll just need to save it this time. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? And I'll give more reminders as the month goes on, but Lewis, our website designer, he said to start reminding people a month out. So, does anybody have any questions about that? And I'll wait a second to see if there's any questions, because that's pretty important stuff. Carla says she just ordered some things. She should be good. There's nothing wrong with anybody's orders. I'm just saying, if you haven't saved your digital copies, if you have downloaded, if you haven't saved your digital patterns to your devices, there will not be any additional download links sent in a month. So you have a month to get them all saved to your devices, which is what you're supposed to do with PDF downloads anyway. Yeah, you're not losing anything. Anything you have purchased is yours, and it's just that if you haven't saved them, and you're somebody that continually asks Judy or me to resend you the links, you won't be able to do that as of a month from now. You will have to save them, that's all. Which is what you're supposed to do when you download a pattern. But nothing else is changing. Will my free patterns still be available on the new site? Yes, Linda. They're part of my blog, and the blog is getting moved over. Yes. Yep, some people forget, I know, and that's why I'm starting the reminders a month out. So I'll probably send out an email today with the reminder, and probably send one out once a week going forward until the website is up and running. And at that point, and I'll make the reminders here on the podcast as well. Does anybody have any other questions about how to do that, or any questions in general? This is nothing, this isn't new information. This happens with websites all the time. It's just the first time it's happened with my website. I don't see any new questions. All right, then maybe everybody's good. Great. That's even better. I mean, questions are great, but if nobody has questions, then hopefully that means that I explain things well. At least I hope that's what it means. All right. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed the show and tell of the new Be So Caring book, which is my 19th book. Hope you enjoyed my demo of how to turn a rectangular wrap into a vest/cardigan look, which I think is so magical when we can transform two-dimensional items into three-dimensional items. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye-bye. Bye.